So far, I really do love Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. It plays better than any Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, it looks better than any Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. This really is a huge deal for Yu-Gi-Oh! Just as a brand. There are so many old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Players that are coming back into the game to try out Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I've noticed that in my own comment section, in my own chat on Twitch, and I've seen it all around Twitter as well. There are big names trying out Yu-Gi-Oh! For the first time in a very long time, because of Master Duel, and all of that is great. Also, personally, I've really enjoyed streaming Master Duel more than any other Yu-Gi-Oh! Game I've played in the past. I have streamed more in the past 2 weeks than I have in the past like 4.5 months, which is just crazy. Now obviously I'm not a full-time Twitch streamer, so I didn't have like that many hours to beat, but I think that goes to show that this game really is awesome and I really do love it. But I think Master Duel is in a bit of trouble right now, and in today's video I wanted to talk about why. This is not really supposed to be like a doom post. I love this game, as I've said many times, and also I really do want it to be successful. I think it's very healthy for Yu-Gi-Oh! As a brand to have a game like Master Duel around for people to try out. But I think if Konami doesn't maintain their current momentum, people are going to lose interest very quickly. Right now the game seems to be lacking in content in more than one area, and I want to talk about that in today's discussion. So Season 2 is here. It is 4 weeks long instead of just a couple weeks long, but there weren't really that many changes. You have the exact same rank setup. There are no ranks added, which was pretty surprising. I believe that data miners have been able to find like other ranks in the files for Master Duel. I don't think Platinum 1 is going to be the highest rank forever, but with Season 2 it still is in fact the highest rank. The only real changes to this season are as follows. After reaching Platinum Tier 1, the highest rank, players will not be demoted during the season. That is a very good change. If you watched my Nurse Burn video, for example, I was in Plat 1, I won 4 times in a row, lost once, and then I was demoted, which was really disappointing, so overall I do like this change. The second change is that you can no longer go on big win streaks to skip the lower ranks. I think that change is fine. A lot of people were able to rank up from like Gold 2 to Plat 5. I believe that even happened in my own run the last season, so that is fine. I mean, that doesn't really matter, right? But those are the only 2 changes in Season 2. There's no new ranks, there's no events at the moment, and people are pretty disappointed with that because I know not everyone is aware of this, especially the returning Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, but when this game launched, it did have a lot of cards, but it wasn't quite up to date. It was actually pretty behind. So at the moment in the game, it is 2 core sets behind the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG format, which is the main like physical card game format, which was whatever, you know, we're missing Dawn of Majesty and Burst of Destiny. Burst of Destiny has a ton of meta cards in it, and people want to play those in this game. But sure, it didn't launch with those, you know, that's fine. I'm sure they'll be added eventually. But we're creeping up on almost 3 core sets behind because Battle of Chaos is just around the corner, and that's going to really like date this game in a really weird format. I also want to mention that the season rewards in this game are not that great. So this uses the Duel Links setup, which is, I mean, for better or for worse, but I personally think that this game has shown that it can go above and beyond compared to Duel Links. The crafting system in this game is fantastic. It's way better than Duel Links. I feel like I've built so many more decks for way less money than I did in Duel Links, so that is a really good thing about this game. But why does it use the same season setup as Duel Links? I don't really know. So for example, in Duel Links and in this game, when you go to a new season and you D-rank, you don't get any of the gems for the ranks that you skipped. Now like I said, in Duel Links it does work this way as well. I asked a couple of my Duel Links friends about this, but I don't know why it has to do that in this game too. You know, it seems like they could have just given you these gems. It almost feels like you're getting punished for doing well. So with me, for example, I ended the last season at Platinum 1, so I got demoted to Gold 5, which means that I missed out on 1,700 gems. That's how many gems were between the Rookie 1 rank and Silver 1. I don't get to see those gems. You know, those will not go to me, at least at this point they have not gone to me. So that is a really big issue. That is so many gems that people are missing out on just for performing well in the previous season. Beyond that, I also feel like there should be like actual rewards for doing good in the previous season, regardless of how many of these gems that Konami gives us, which will probably be none of them. But if you think of like Hearthstone, for example, at the end of the season, even if you didn't do that great, they give you a few packs, they give you some dust, which is like the crafting material in that game, or they give you like a rare card. You know, that's pretty cool. This game could do that. One of the other things that I like about the Hearthstone rank up system is that at the end of the month, if you at least played like 3 or 5 games or whatever, it gives you a special card back for that month. It's a super easy way to reward players for playing a couple games each season, and I think it really would keep people invested. The card sleeves in this game are pretty cool. There are a few different options, but wouldn't it be cool if they had a season sleeve as well, just for rewarding players for sticking around throughout many seasons? Overall, it's not that this game has done anything wrong necessarily with the content that's currently in the game. It just feels like there could be more, and beyond that, people are still kind of mad about the fact that we don't have either the TCG or OCG ban list in this game. Once again here, I know a lot of people are playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For the first time and they don't realize that this ban list isn't what it's like in real life, but this really is its own format. It's very close to the OCG ban list. It's like 90% of their ban list, but it's pretty far from what the current TCG format looks like. And I know for a fact that not everyone is aware that this is not the current TCG format, because on my ban list video from a week ago when the new ban list for the TCG was announced, I saw tons of comments from people asking why certain cards were banned and if they would be banned in Master Duel, cards that have been banned in the TCG for quite a while. Things like Maxi and Starving Venom Dragon and stuff like that, cards we haven't had in our format for a long time, but people don't realize that this format is not the same as the TCG. But it's not, and Konami made it pretty clear when they first announced this game that they wanted people to be able to play the TCG and OCG formats, but those are not in the game yet, and honestly, as a TCG player, I'm getting a little bit sick of some of the cards in this game. For example, Drytron and Master Duel are more powerful than they ever were in the TCG. There was never a point in the TCG where we had 3 copies of Ben 10, 3 copies of Eva, plus 3 copies of Mubeta Fafnir, and 3 copies of Diviner of the Herald. There are so many crazy cards in Master Duel that are legal because they are legal in the OCG, and it's a little bit jarring coming from the TCG format. So I want to see this game have the updated ban list for the OCG and TCG. I want this game to have the updated card pool. I want it to have Dawn of Majesty and Burst of Destiny and eventually Battle of Chaos. And I think that those things will come eventually, but I'm a little bit surprised they didn't come with Season 2, or at the very least a couple new ranks. That's what people are talking about here. There's no real new content. If you open up the ranked mode here, you can see that there is Event Duel, which still says coming soon. You know, it's been that way for 2 weeks, and I know that I might be asking a bit much of this game because sure, it is free to play, but why wasn't there an event that was like a tie-in with Season 2's release? I don't really understand that because they've had this thing right here. It takes up half the screen. I mean, that's crazy, right? And there still isn't a new event. We also don't really have a good casual mode yet. I know that they have the free duel, which is just like an open duel room thing, but there really needs to be like a quick play casual version of this game so that people don't have to always play ranked. And I think the duel pass is a good example of how Konami maybe underestimated how much people would play this game. I feel like I got my duel pass to level 100 like slower than most of my friends. A lot of my friends actually got to level 100 like within a couple days of this game's release. Now obviously they were playing a lot, but I really feel like it's not that hard to level up in the duel pass. And honestly, the rewards, while cool, I mean, I feel like there weren't nearly as many cosmetic rewards as there should have been. I've played games like Warzone and Apex and stuff like that with battle passes, and there's like a cosmetic reward every other level, which is really cool, but this one only had like the 3. You have the Pot of Greed, which is great, you know, that's really nice, and then at level 50 you had the Upstart Goblin profile picture and the El Shaddai Construct like monster art. Those things are all cool and stuff, but it's kind of weird that those were the only cosmetics on this duel pass. I really don't understand that. This would have been a great opportunity, paid or unpaid, to add a bunch of like cool avatars, or maybe even a duel field or a special pet besides Pot of Greed. I feel like this could have been done a lot better. It just needs more content. I'm just worried because if it only takes people like a couple weeks to get to Platinum or even Plat 1 and they don't add any more events, what are people gonna do the last couple weeks out of February? You know, if you're halfway through the month and you've already done everything there is to do, are you going to move on to a new game? Will you come back when Season 3 starts? That stuff I don't really know, so I really hope Konami adds an event or adds a new card pool, just adds anything new so people don't lose interest. I want Master Duel to be successful. I think this game is great, but it does need more. Let me know in the comments though what you think about Master Duel right now. Should they add more ranks? Should they add more cards? Should they add more cosmetics? Let me know what your thoughts are on Master Duel at the moment. I'll see you later though. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.